Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today and Tarot. My name is Mel Rose. This is the Tarot portion and the second half of my daily astrology vlog, which you can check out on my other channel, Astrology Today with Mel Rose. Here I will discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page. Then I'll do a quick review of the day's aspects before I play another card that may give us something more to think about. So let's get into it. The card that currently sits on the side of the page is the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is here because it relates directly to the first 10 days or the first decan of the sun's transit in the land of Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign. Pentacles are earth in the tarot. And pentacles or earth element symbolism is about that yearning for stability that we have in our lives. Okay, so the physical assets that we have and that we manage in order to build something solid for ourselves that feels supportive, and that includes our networks of support with other people, but also like the structures that we build and the things that we create. So here we have the Eight of Pentacles, and we have a person who appears to be hard at work doing the same thing over and over again. This person is wearing the clothes of the trade, using the tools of the trade. They have a proper workstation. They're getting pretty good at making the same thing over and over again. Okay, so they're working on being consistent. Okay, so this really gives me an education vibe. This person might be working in an apprenticeship, sort of just learning how to do the thing that helps create value for them in their lives, just learning how to do that work. And it also just speaks to the work that we have to do to make the achievements that we set out to get in the first place, okay? So, in one way it represents just a time to buckle down and get to work. It also represents time to study or learn new skills so that we can change our circumstances for the better, right? And then, it also just points to the importance of hard work and diligence in meeting our goals, right? No reward without effort. So this is the effort card right here. And with all of that said, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle some cards while I remind myself and the cards that the sun is in Virgo. And so is Mercury. When the sun is in Virgo, our outer life attention, our work, social, and civic lives especially, are just turned to sort of problem solving and sort of mixing and matching resources, that alchemy I talked about, knowing what kind of items you can put together or separate apart to create something that works better for you. We have a lot of work to do between now and the winter time. We are in between harvests at this time. So, there's that, but it's also just like this time of year when we get to work on educating ourselves, okay, on, building up new skills that we will have in the spring to help us move up and forward in our lives. So that's the sun in Virgo. Mercury is in Virgo, but leaving this evening. And this has really given us a chance to sort of see clearly, to make a plan and make a list and check all the boxes. So that's been very satisfying. We're able to handle our problems and the things that come up with intelligence during this time. So that's a really big gift. Mercury in Virgo is exalted. Mercury is its most functioning in Virgo. So hopefully you've gotten a lot of day-to-day stuff taken care of at this point. And then the waning crescent moon is in Leo right now. So we're still steadily trying to push out, get rid of things that no longer serve us, thoughts, attitudes, dispositions, and also stuff and things. And with it being in Leo, I've been getting this sort of vibe that it's an aesthetic choice, like something that doesn't bring as much beauty and inspiration to the room as maybe we once thought it was. Perhaps it's time to let something like that go. On the moon side of the page, moon goes conjunct to Venus this morning. It's a very loving mood. We have our feelings sort of intensified with our sense of desire. So, we can be very tender with somebody that we keep close. Then, and that's not in the morning. That's at 6:50 this evening. That's where we're starting today. And then Moon goes square to Uranus tonight at 9:44. So this can be kind of an emotional extremes vibe. Okay, like we just don't know how we feel, or how the way we feel is changing a lot, and it might somehow spur us to want to act on it. Squares usually precipitate action. So like we remember our dedication to something. So don't let the mood swing like change your mind about something serious in your personal life right now, like between 9:44 and 11:44 tonight. Don't make any drastic changes in your personal life at those hours. And then tomorrow morning, very early at 1:55 a.m., a void of course moon goes opposite to Saturn. We may be feeling the pressure of our home life responsibilities. And it's 2 in the morning, friends, where I am, so I plan to be asleep. But if you are awake and fretting over the pressure of those especially home life responsibilities and commitments, something's got to give, right? We've got to find a way to put that stuff aside and get some rest so that we can take care of that stuff during the daylight hours. And I'm not saying that, I know some people work all night and sleep all day. I'm not trying to leave you guys out. Anyway, we do have a 17 and a half hours void of course, however. So if we're feeling the pressure still when we wake up in the morning, this is a good time to sort of spend some time in communion with your own heart and with spirit, to journal, to reflect, to meditate, to study, to read, whatever it is that helps you, calm the mind and center the intention, so that we know, how we feel. We've chosen how we feel, and we know how we want to move forward with our day, or our early morning, our full day tomorrow. That moon goes into Virgo tomorrow at 7 p.m. So all day, really, you have all day to work it out for yourself. And then on the sun side of the page today, Mercury does go into Libra tonight at 8:03. So, it says make it right, do it now. And here, because there's a quick pace to Mercury. Mercury is about our day-to-day stuff. So, if it's something that needs to be done, it's something that we're going to do right now. And Libra is all about bringing balance to a situation, making it right. But listen, sometimes in the interest of keeping the peace, we deny ourselves some justice, and it's important to think about that, okay? Sometimes we are working so hard to maintain a balance and to keep everybody else happy, because Libra rules our house of partnership, okay? So it's not a time when we can be thinking of ourselves. It's a time when we're going to be called upon to be thinking of the people around us, and this is our cultural life. This is our work, social, and civic environment, right? So we have this impulse to make things right. We have this impulse to bring in a balance. And sometimes, if we are hasty about it, then, we bring it almost into balance, but the scales actually weigh out in the other side's favor, and we kind of get the short end of the deal. So take your time to make the choices that you need to right now. It can be a little bit difficult when Mercury is in Libra to make those quick changes and those quick choices very easily. Take your time to figure out what it is that you want to do, because if you act in haste, you might just get the short end of the deal. In the oncoming column, that's the oncoming column. This is the ongoing column. Venus is trine to Chiron through the end of the month. So this is a very loving and tender vibe once again on the board. Just saying, especially with people that we already have a love and or a mutual regard, our bonds are growing stronger at this time in a really positive and blessed way, okay? And then Mars is trying to Pluto, Mercury is trying to Pluto. Those are both positive and blessed aspects as well, saying that we can consciously and actively make changes that will ultimately transform our lives, okay? You know what it is that, you know what the transformation is that's coming up. You have the power to act on it. You have the initiative and the sense of purpose to act on it. And, if that transformation is coming up and you can see it, and there's something that you can do, to step in that direction, then you do it. Especially if it regards starting something or bringing something to an end, having to quit doing something. This is the time to really be taking action on those things. Just remember that Mercury is also opposite to Neptune, and we can be a little quick to assume that we have all the facts, but we really want to make sure that we do. So make sure to ask all the questions and read the fine print and make sure you know exactly what the deal is, whatever it is, the deal that you're making with yourself or whomever. And with all of that said, speaking of making the deal, okay, so that's the Wheel of Fortune. This is a lovely card because in general, when it pops up, it says the Wheel of Fortune is sort of spinning in your favor, okay? Or like I like to sing, everything's coming up roses, right? So it is a reminder. There are a couple of reminders that come with this card. One is that, literally we're all on the wheel, okay? And sometimes you're up and sometimes you're down. If you're up, understand that you're going to go back down at some point. And if you're down, understand that you're coming back up. So there's that. It helps us have some equanimity. And what else will help us have some equanimity is to not be all the time looking at the detail, like trying to get involved in all of the details of what's going on out here, because this is way more in motion than the center of the wheel is, okay? What we want to be is the calm center of everything that is going on in our lives, okay? To not be spun around, to not be jerked around, to not be, sort of shown things and then taken away from them. That's that sort of merry-go-round feel that, that is nice, but it doesn't help us get a fix on anything specific that is happening, and it doesn't really give us any opportunity to manage whatever else is going on the wheel, okay? So when we're at the center of the wheel, we can kind of allow the things to go on around us, remain calm and centered, and, and as we see the stuff go by, we can take from it what we need. We can give to it what we need. We're sort of dispersing our personal resources as we watch our worlds go on around us. And that's where we want to be. We want to be the calm center, not the sort of quick moving outside where it can get a little dizzying. And you really feel those highs and lows, rather than being in the center where okay, yeah, I'm up right now, or okay, now I'm down a little bit. But we don't go to these extremes of necessarily emotions or passions or actions at this time. So be cool, Fonzies, is what I'm saying, because the Wheel of Fortune is spinning in our favor. Out here on the table, yes, Venus is trine to Chiron. We are becoming more attached to the people that we love, and that's a trine blessing. We've got 3 trine blessings on the page today. So, understand, and through the end of the month, so understand that this is all really good news for us. And, whether we act on it or not, it's still a blessing that is in our lives, that we're given to be able to see the transformations that we can make and step into them consciously, and that we're given the opportunity also to create closer bonds with people that we are already bonded to. And then taken together with the 8 of Pentacles, I think this just says, do the work and fortune will spin in your favor, okay? Jupiter is a good example. Jupiter is retrograde right now, but Jupiter is a good example. Saturn is also a good example of, sort of what you put in is comparable to what you get out of it, right? So when you're striving for good fortune, which is what Jupiter is about, it's sort of expanding our lives and making them bigger and helping us have a bigger sense of what we can be, do, and have. So when you're striving for good fortune in your life, you want good fortune in your life, you really just can't just sit on your ass and say, oh, I wish I had better good fortune, right? There's effort required in order to get a reward, okay? So we have to get up and we have to sort of show the world and show the cosmos and show spirit and show ourselves that we are willing to do whatever labor it is that is required of us to bring us into, you know, the sort of alignment with forces that will give us that good fortune, right? So Jupiter sort of puts in as much as we do. If I show effort, then Jupiter answers me with, you know, with positive blessings, with extra things that I didn't know would come my way, with, you know, with business that I wasn't actually, you know, that I'm happy to receive but wasn't actually expecting to get. So that's how it works with the Wheel of Fortune, or how it works with Jupiter helping you out with good fortune. Is, you know, you've got to put your own efforts in, and then Jupiter will repay you. Saturn is very similar, but it's about our commitments and our responsibilities, and that's a very earthen vibe. It does occur to me that, you know, you've got 8 coins over here and a 9th coin over there. That big Tarot Wheel of Fortune coin. That's lovely. We've got circles everywhere. Yeah. So, you know, if you want to have good things happen to you, you need to put your best, most positive foot forward and make the effort, right? I think that's all I have to say about it today, friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. I truly appreciate your presence here. My name is Mel Rose, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more astrology today and tarot.